Indeed. Boom, baby, boom! Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time, and here is my fly ass intro. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marquis Saint, and every morning I get up and I am blessed. I'm blessed to be alive. You're blessed to be alive, and you're blessed to hear this live. It's going down this morning. This morning we had to have a conversation, me and you. We had to have a conversation with ourselves, and we had to talk about self-sabotage. That's right. Every morning we are going after each different discipline. Was like yesterday. Actually, this whole week's been about discipline, and here at Mostly Saints, that's right, we got the halo and the horns, and we talk about them equally, right? We have to talk about the negatives and the positives, and hopefully we can overshadow our negatives with some positives. Hopefully we can flip our bad habits. You know, that's why over at Saints Station we talk about choose better habits. And over here, the worst habit I've ever had and you've ever had is being your own self-saboteur. That's right, your whole life you've been self-sabotaging yourself, and it sucks, dude. It sucks to find out that you're the one smoking all your weed, that you're the one spending money on all your weed, and you're the one that's decided to smoke weed instead of being active. And this is just me speaking for myself personally, but each one of us can put it out there in the light and say, you know what, you're right, Sam. Like, I would do all sorts of things to fuck my life up. I would drink before interviews. I would be high during interviews. That's actually happened. That's a real story. What else? Any kind of self-sabotaging you've been doing is your own self being your own worst enemy. And that's a really tough realization to have in the morning when you're having your morning marijuana motivation. Let's get a little mota in it. Get your own broken. That smoking review. Carts hit me up through Signal. So here we go. I go into my day and I have the opportunity to develop it myself. You get into your day and you have the opportunity to develop it yourself. And while ourselves talk to ourselves, our inner game and our outer game, what are our realities and what are the realities we put inside of our minds, the real reality that I had to come to a realization with was real eyes, real lies, real lies. And the lie that I wasn't going to keep going on about was the way I self-affected myself. So, you know, I have strong competitive desires. I love competition. I love pushing myself forward and making myself do things that I would normally do. And here's what I do. I go and become my own worst enemy. I end up becoming the guy that I wanted to beat up. You know, I'm like looking for a competitor to beat up. And yesterday I said, beat your old self, right? Beat yourself. Like, not beat yourself like physically, but beat the old version of you, because that's the person that's here to blame, right? I said, do things that your future self will thank you for, right? You want to do things that you're like, damn, thank you for doing that hard work. You set me up for success right now. I'm also the same one that sets myself up for failure. When I'm again partying the night before I was supposed to do something, or not living in the moment, not concentrating, giving in to my carnal desires. And that's why I think people gave religion. That's why I think people, you know, I talk about the dichotomy of it all the time, and I know most people find Saints Edition to be blasphemous, but I questioned authority and I questioned religion. But I see the good in it too. I see how they left us with some little bits and kernels of, don't do it too much. Don't masturbate too much. You know, I could be a masturbation addiction and people don't want to talk about it. And then they're like, well, let's talk about these things. Let's talk about the things that we do too much of, like gluttony, the 7 deadly sins that all of us are guilty of. And each one of us knows that we have too much vanity, or we care too much about how we look to other people, or we don't care about how we look at all. And then we get, what's the other one? Not wrath. What's the other one? Sloth. And we get too lazy. And I keep talking about the lazy and uninitiated. One dude I was watching the other day, neat old dude, he's a business guy. He has a suit, always wears a nice suit, glass. He says, fuck you. How about shaking your head? Fuck you. Loser rubs off. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Loser rubs off. Okay. No, mentality rubs off. The type of mentality where you're like, you know what, I'm going to have some self-accountability. I'm not going to put it on my parents anymore. We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to put it on anyone else. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Okay, me, why aren't you saving more money? You're addicted to spending, but not addicted to saving. How do I get addicted to saving? How do I stop being addicted to pussy I started being addicted to business. How do all these things that seem to motivate me when I have no energy whatsoever, flatline couch lock, and now all of a sudden hot chick shows by, I got max amount of energy, Superman amount of energy. And that's the conversation I had to have with myself, and I want you to have with yourself and go, why am I so motivated on the things that take away from my energy? I can't wait to get to the bar. I can't wait to eat this food. I can't wait. Why are you not waiting to live your life? I mean, I don't want you to wait, but why are you not living your life now? You know what I'm saying? Why is there a wait scenario? Why is there always this thing that I have to look forward to in the future? Why can't I help myself now? And that's when the self-stopping, the self-sabotage happens. It's like I looked at myself and I said, damn, bro, like, what if you did quit weed for a week or a month? And I've done that before. Actually, it's been quite a while since I had some flour. But it's nice to have what we call in the weed community what do they call that when you have desensitized? Not desensitized. What's it called? When you not a sobriety high. What do you call that when you get a? Damn, I totally spaced it. There's something when you get a. Oh, it'll hit me. Anyway, so it's these type of things that I've been doing this whole time of being not my worst enemy, but being helpful to myself in the future. And that's something that I've been really keying in on for the rest of my the time in my thing. And they call it a, damn it, dude, it's going to bug me if I don't get it. What do you call that when you, in your brain and you get it's not a relapse. It's gonna bug me. Anyway, so on to the show, dude. It's all about self-sabotage, and that's what I wanted to hit this home, was just not being my own worst enemy anymore. I really wanted to thank myself, right, for helping my future self. It's been 10 years of saying, hey, I want to travel the world and start my own business and make something out of nothing. And it's taken a lot of effort and change in my character, to change in the tiger stripes to get here. It wasn't gonna be given to me. I had to be earned, and the guy that earned it was gonna be a different character than the character that originally created it. It was going to be a better version of myself, you know, a more saintly version of myself, one that could appreciate when the kingdom was given to me, when the keys were given to me, and the keys have been given to me. I looked over here for my Mark Echo book, but I read the book twice. I'm planning on reading the book a third time. It's all about putting that shirt in Mark Echo's hands and launching Saints brand. We got Mostly Saints coming out. Wait till this website drops, mostlysaints.com. You know, I love this halo and horn. I've been working on the, I don't know if you can see that, the metallics, the shiny holographic vinyls. Anybody's interested in that, hit me up in the comments. That's a lot of fun. I'm doing all sorts of designs with holographics. So expanding my empire and my style to be able to combat that other stuff where I was being hesitant, waiting till the last minute, saying, oh, I can do that in 5 minutes. Well, if it's not in 5 minutes, just get it done. Now's the new attitude. Saving money to make my money do push-ups, to make the other money go instead of just spending it immediately. Buying a trailer instead of buying a home. Well, I'm going to eventually buy a home, but getting off the grid instead of just spending my money on rent. There's so many different changes and discipline to myself that kept me from being my own worst enemy. And that's this whole conversation is about. It's just like getting some acknowledgement, knowing that you are the decision maker of your life. And in Thai terms, they call it Lao Tao Kun. It means up to you, right? Lao Tao Kun is up to you. If you want to climb a coconut tree and be drunk and fall, that is your new consequence, you know, your new reality to your decision. No one's going to stop you from making decisions. It's a why not attitude. So why not live the life you want to live? Why not put yourself in the driver's seat and start giving yourself the opportunity to take advantage of opportunity instead of waiting around for opportunity? And that's a big difference. When we're in our minds, we're like, oh man, they didn't give me enough money. It's like, did you come up with a system to make more money? Okay, and it's your character in the right place, so when you make that money, you won't spend it in a stupid fashion. These are the type of attitudes that I'm talking about. This is the type of self-sabotage that I've been going on about. So everyone knows what I'm talking about. When you grow up enough and stop blaming other people like we talked about yesterday, and you start looking at yourself in the mirror and go, you're the one that's been smoking all my weed. You're the one that keeps throwing me to the bar. You're the one that keeps spending money on strippers. So I'm going to tell you what to do instead of you doing whatever the fuck you want to do, you are going to do better by you in the future. And now you got Saints Addiction. All my heart from the start. It's your boy Marky Saint, Saints Addiction, peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Share it with a friend. We all want to reach, preach, and teach. Ciao. Beijos.